Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top 6 most valuable ultra-rare Abraham Lincoln wheat penny coins value in today's market. First up, the 1917 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly one without a mint mark and in dirty condition. First things first, let's talk about the history behind the 1917 Lincoln wheat penny. This penny is part of the Lincoln wheat series, minted from 1909 to 1958. The 1917 penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and millions were struck that year, nearly 200 million, to be exact. Now, you might be thinking, with so many produced, how can this penny be valuable? Well, even though they minted millions, the value of any coin depends on several factors: rarity, condition, and demand among collectors. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. But since we're focusing on a 1917 Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition, let's be realistic about its value. A dirty coin usually means it's been heavily circulated, worn down, and has lost its original mint luster. In perfect, uncirculated condition, a 1917 penny could fetch anywhere from $30 to $150 or more, depending on its grade. But in dirty or heavily circulated condition, we're looking at much lower values. A 1917 penny that's dirty but still has visible details, like Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the reverse, could be worth anywhere from $40. Not exactly a jackpot, but it's still worth more than its face value. Before you rush to clean that dirty penny, a quick word of caution. Coin collectors often prefer coins in their natural state, even if they're dirty. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value significantly, so think twice before you scrub away that history. If your penny has sentimental value, or if you're just curious about its worth, you might want to consider having it professionally appraised by a numismatist before making any decisions. So, let's say you've got a dirty 1917 Lincoln wheat penny and you're ready to sell. Where do you start? Well, the online coin market is booming right now, with platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and even dedicated coin selling websites. For a penny in dirty condition, you're likely to get between $50 on these platforms. However, if you've got a more collectible version, like a high-grade penny or one with a rare error, the price could climb significantly. At the end of the day, the value of a dirty 1917 Lincoln wheat penny might not make you rich, but it's a fascinating piece of history that still holds some value. Whether you're looking to sell or just want to hold onto it for its historical significance, it's always worth knowing what's in your pocket. Next up, the 1952 with D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny that has seen better days. How much is a dirty? The Lincoln wheat penny, minted from 1909 to 1958, is a classic American coin beloved by collectors. Although it's no longer in circulation, many people still come across them in their old change jars or while searching through rolls of pennies. The 1952 D wheat penny, minted in Denver, is one of these coins. But what if it's in less than ideal condition, say, covered in dirt and grime? What could that be worth? Before we dive into the value, let's quickly talk about the coin itself. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was produced at the Denver Mint. In 1952, the Denver Mint struck over 746 million of these pennies, so it's not exactly a rare coin. But, as with all collectibles, condition plays a massive role in determining its value. Coin conditions are graded on a scale, with poor being the lowest and mint state or uncirculated being the highest. A dirty coin would likely fall into the good or poor category, depending on the amount of wear and corrosion. For a 1952 D penny in pristine condition, let's say in mint state, it could be worth between $5 and $15, but what about a heavily dirty and circulated coin? Now, let's get real. If you have a 1952 D wheat penny that's seen better days, the value drops significantly. A dirty, worn coin may only fetch a few cents above face value, depending on just how dirty and worn it is. To get an accurate value, you'd need to have the coin inspected by a professional. They will assess the level of wear, any damage, and even the dirt. But for a coin in this condition, you're likely looking at a value anywhere from $10 to $20. If the coin is extremely dirty but still identifiable, it might appeal to collectors who are looking for filler coins for their collection. However, there is a silver lining. In some rare cases, even a dirty penny can surprise you. If there's an error on the coin, such as a double die, off-center strike, or a repunched mint mark, the value could jump significantly even in poor condition. Errors like these can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. So before you toss that dirty penny back into circulation, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know what hidden gems might be there. To wrap things up, a dirty 1952 Lincoln wheat penny may not be worth a fortune, but it still holds a piece of history and a little value. If you find one in your collection, it's worth keeping, even if just for the nostalgia. And who knows? That penny could be worth a bit more than you expect, especially if it has a rare error. Always check with a professional before selling. Next up, the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark. We'll explore its value in today's market, especially in very fine VF condition. To understand the value of the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, let's first step back in time. The Lincoln wheat penny was first minted in 1909 and remained in production until 1958. Designed by Victor D. Brenner. The coin's obverse features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays two wheat stalks. This reverse design gives the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Now, the year 1937 is of particular interest to collectors. This was during the Great Depression, when every penny counted literally. And of course, for collectors today, certain pennies from that era are considered highly valuable, depending on their condition and rarity. So, what makes the 1937 wheat penny without a mint mark special? First, the lack of a mint mark tells us that this penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia pennies from this era were produced in large quantities, so they aren't as rare as those minted in Denver or San Francisco. However, their value depends heavily on their condition, and that's what we'll focus on. In coin collecting, condition is everything. For a 1937 wheat penny, values can vary widely depending on the coin's grade. A penny in very fine, or VF, condition shows moderate wear. The details are still visible, but the highest points of the coin have been smoothed down from circulation. In this condition, Lincoln's cheekbone, jaw, and the reverse wheat stalk show signs of wear, but most features remain well defined. So, what is the value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition in today's market? Currently, the market value for this coin ranges between $30 and $40. While this may seem modest, it's important to remember that coin collecting isn't just about the monetary value, it's about history, rarity, and personal enjoyment. Where can you sell or buy a 1937 wheat penny? Well, there are many avenues for collectors to explore. Online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and specialized coin dealers often have listings for wheat pennies. The value can fluctuate depending on market demand, but if you have a very fine 1937 penny, expect it to fetch anywhere between $60 at auction or through a private sale. Next up, the 1949 with S mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition. We'll explore what makes this coin so special, its historical significance, and of course its current value in today's market. So, if you're a collector or just curious about coin values, stick around. Let's start by taking a closer look at the 1949 S Lincoln wheat penny. The S mint mark signifies that this particular penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint, one of the three mints that produced Lincoln wheat pennies during this time period, the other two being the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Lincoln wheat penny, often referred to as a wheatie, was designed by Victor David Brenner and was issued from 1909 to 1958. The obverse features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse shows the famous wheat stalks, which symbolize prosperity and are the reason behind the coin's nickname. The 1949 with S mint mark issue was produced post-World War II, a time of economic growth and industrial expansion in America, making these coins a snapshot of U.S. history during that period. In 1949, a total of 64,290,000 Lincoln wheat pennies were struck at the San Francisco Mint. While that may sound like a large number, when compared to other mintages of the era, it was relatively modest. Pennies from this mint and year are considered somewhat scarce, particularly in higher grades. But what really drives the value of a 1949 S penny is its condition. That's where the term extra fine or comes into play. So what does extra fine mean in the world of coin grading? Coin grading is an essential part of determining the value of a coin. The The Sheldon grading scale is commonly used, and it ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Extra fine falls between 40 and 45 on this scale. An extra fine coin will show light wear on the high points of the design, but the details should remain sharp. For a 1949 S penny in XF condition, you'll notice some slight wear on Lincoln's cheekbones and jawline, as well as the wheat stalks on the reverse. However, the finer details like Lincoln's hair and the texture of the wheat stalks should still be visible. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the market value of a 1949 S Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition. Coin values can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and the overall state of the market. As of today's market conditions in 2024, a 1949 S penny in condition typically sells for around $80. If the coin has exceptional eye appeal or nearly uncirculated details, it could fetch a higher price, possibly around $90. Several factors can affect the value of your 1949 S penny. First and foremost is the coin's condition. Even a small difference in wear can influence whether a coin falls into the category or dips down to very fine, which could significantly reduce its value. Another important factor is the market demand. Although this particular coin isn't exceedingly rare, Lincoln wheat pennies are highly collectible, and demand can spike due to a variety of reasons, such as increased interest from new collectors or market speculation. And finally, if your coin has been cleaned, scratched, or otherwise damaged, its value can decrease dramatically. Collectors typically prefer coins in their original, untouched condition. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1949 S penny in extra fine condition, here's a bit of advice. First, make sure to have your coin evaluated by a professional coin dealer or a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will help ensure you're getting an accurate assessment of your coin's grade and value. When buying, always be cautious of counterfeit coins, although counterfeits are not common for this date. Stick to reputable dealers or marketplaces where you can check the seller's ratings and reviews. If you're selling, take high-quality photos of your coin and highlight the areas that demonstrate its XF condition. Clear and detailed images can help you get top dollar for your coin. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, especially if it's a blackened or dirty version. The Lincoln wheat penny series ran from 1909 to 1958, and the 1947 penny is part of that history. This coin was minted right after World War II, a time when the United States was recovering from the war efforts. Over 190 million of these pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint alone, which is why there's no mint mark on the coin. So the coin itself isn't exactly rare in most conditions. But here's the kicker: coins can become valuable for many reasons, and it's not just about how old they are. It could be due to errors, unique appearances, or how well the coin has been preserved over the years. In this case, we're particularly interested in blackened or dirty 1947 pennies without a mint mark. As mentioned, the absence of a mint mark signifies that this penny was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest and largest of the U.S. mints. Being such a high production coin, you can find 1947 pennies everywhere, from old coin collections to forgotten drawers, but can one in a dirty or blackened condition still hold value? But what if your 1947 Lincoln wheat penny is in poor condition? Maybe it's dirty or has a blackened appearance due to exposure to the elements. This is common for coins that have been in circulation for decades. Coins in this condition are often labeled as environmentally damaged, meaning their surfaces have been affected by factors like water, soil, or air exposure. While this certainly lowers the coin's grade, it doesn't necessarily mean it's worthless. The numismatic value can still hold depending on demand and the uniqueness of the coin's appearance, but how much are we really talking? First, let's manage expectations. If your penny is heavily worn or damaged, you're probably not looking at hundreds of dollars. But if it's in relatively decent shape, despite the discoloration, you could still get something for it. From recent online sales, a heavily circulated and dirty 1947 penny might fetch anywhere from $356,000. Not much, right? But here's the thing: if you happen to find a buyer who's particularly interested in unique-looking coins, you could possibly sell it for a bit more. While most of these pennies are only worth a few cents, remember that coin collecting is a hobby full of surprises. Sometimes, what seems like a regular penny can turn into a lucky find if it has an error or a unique trait that appeals to a collector. So, keep your eyes peeled and do your research. So there you have it. While a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty or blackened condition might not make you rich, it's still an interesting piece of history that holds some value. If you're a collector, you know that every coin tells a story, and even the most worn-out penny has a place in someone's collection. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition. The Lincoln wheat penny, also known as the wheat cent, was produced from 1909 to 1958. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny was the final year of this beloved design before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse design in 1959. First off, if your 1958 Lincoln wheat penny doesn't have a mint mark, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia didn't place mint marks on coins back then, which is why you'll see no letter under the date. Even without mint mark, these coins hold value, depending on their condition. In this video, fine condition means the coin has moderate wear, but all major details are still visible. For Lincoln wheat pennies, this generally means that the lines in Lincoln's hair are worn but visible, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are still distinguishable. As of the value of a 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition ranges between $20 to $50. Yep, that's right. Even in fine condition, this penny could be worth up to 50 times its face value. It's also worth noting that coin values fluctuate based on the market. The prices we mentioned today could go up or down, so it's always a good idea to stay updated on the latest market trends if you're serious about coin collecting. While we've been talking about fine condition coins, it's worth mentioning that the most valuable 1958 Lincoln wheat pennies are those that are in mint state or graded as MS65 or higher. These can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, if you have a pristine 1958 penny, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Thanks for joining us today on. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe,